Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, and welcome to 1minutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about the relationship between the wrist and the elbow in the forehand. And when you get the correct relationship between these two parts of the body, then the forehand becomes easy, smooth, elegant, and powerful. The forehand is essentially broken down into three component parts, and that's the loading phase, the acceleration phase, and then the deceleration phase. But the most important part is the change from the loading to the acceleration phase, and that involves this relationship between the wrist and the elbow. See, as I take the racket back, then I've made my unit turn here, and my elbow is behind my wrist. It might be in different shapes. It could be that I have a higher position here, or it could be I'm in a more sort of direct position here. They're aligned better. But there is a relationship between the wrist and the elbow. And then as we change now from the loading phase into the acceleration phase, we need to reverse that relationship. So we have wrist ahead of elbow, and now elbow ahead of wrist. Wrist ahead of elbow, and elbow ahead of wrist. And then we accelerate into the ball. So the relationship, and the swing. The relationship, and the swing. What you see with many players is that this relationship is broken. They have the correct relationship here, but then maybe come straight down. Or even worse is when the wrist is immediately going behind the elbow. When the wrist is behind the elbow, I have to be pushing. When the wrist goes down immediately, I have to be pushing. But when I go into the wrist ahead of the elbow and then reverse, then now I have a throwing action. And the difference in power that you generate between the pushing action of wrist behind elbow and push, and wrist ahead of elbow and then reverse and swing is tremendous, and it's easier. So make sure you get the wrist behind the elbow, and when the wrist is behind the elbow, reverse the position when you go to the acceleration phase of the stroke, and you'll have a bigger, better, and easier forehand. If you like this idea, check out our books on Amazon. We have books on every aspect of the game, and everything is broken down into the science and biomechanics of the strokes with great detail and good illustrations, and then really simple explanations such as this. Or join players in over 40 countries that I'm helping with one-to-one online training. It's like a tennis consultation service where we do video analysis, but then we meet players one-to-one and discuss and help them online on court. It is a truly unique service, it's inexpensive, and it really works. For more information, check out the website or email me. So make sure you have the correct relationship between the wrist and the elbow. Remember, the wrist is ahead of the elbow is behind the wrist, and then they reverse and you swing. And you then smoothly go from the loading phase to the acceleration of the forehand, and you'll have a better forehand today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.